Hello, and welcome back to the Coop to Villa podcast. I'm Scott Cooper, and we are back to talk about Aston Villa's home match against Arsenal. Disappointing game, really disappointing performance, and we will get into all of that and what it means going into the international break after this. All right, then we were back at Villa Park for another home match. Arsenal were the visitors and they were in really good form. It was going to be a tough game. I think we all expected that. We spoke about that last week, Noah. But it really turned out to be a difficult day at the office for us. We only the one shot on target and, yeah, we just came out of the blocks really slow, didn't we?
We're still trying to get out the blocks, I think, Scotty. It was a very, very, very bad game. And for us people in Australia, especially in Melbourne, it was a great time for kickoff. I mean, 11:30 p.m. kickoff here, thinking, it could be a good one. But unfortunately not. We really, really didn't get out the blocks at all. And, I mean, Arsenal probably had that one half chance, which Martinez was blinded by. It went in the back of the net from Saka. Besides that, Saka was rolling around on the floor, doing a little bit of other stuff like that, pissing us off. But, I mean, Arsenal deserve winners in my eyes, deserving winners.
Yeah, I think that that first half, they turned up. They really put us under pressure early, especially with their possession and the way that they kept the ball and, kept the ball away from us. It was, their midfield of like Odegaard, Partey, Saka, all very, very good. Ashley Young had an absolute nightmare against Saka. As soon as we saw that lineup and we were all talking about it was going to be a long afternoon for him, and it turned out to definitely be that. And I just felt that in the midfield we really lacked the ability to keep the ball, get Coutinho and Watkins and Buendia on the ball, and it was just constant pressure, really.
I just think the change of formation didn't help that, Scotty. I think we need to go with two up front against Arsenal. I really do. And try to get like two strikers making good runs. Like obviously Watkins works his socks off, but when they know he's the main go-to centre forward, they're going to put two blokes through the middle all the time making those runs, where I think having Ings up there, Coutinho as the number 10, giving us that extra midfield option in there as well with McGinn, Louise, Ramsey. I think it would have been a good, strong midfield, but I still think it was a missed opportunity to play Sanson. I think this game suited him very well, would have suited him very well, in my opinion. A good box-to-box midfielder. And it's just looking week in, week out that Jacob Ramsey needs a rest. I mean, he's played almost every game this season.
Yeah.
As you and I were talking off air, he's really dropped in form the last few weeks. And it's, I say the international break's come at the right time, but he's still going to be playing football this week and the next week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it might be good for him in some ways to just get away from Villa club football and go to an easier standard. Under 21s for England, I'm sure he's going to get plenty of the ball. He's going to be the man in that side, and he maybe can get a bit of confidence back. But yeah, I definitely agree that we needed a bit of freshening up, and I don't think it was in the right spots. I mean, Ings was dropped because of apparently a slight knock. He was good enough to come off the bench, but obviously Gerrard and the medical team didn't think he was right for the full 90 minutes, which I think was a huge loss because I understand Buendia came on against West Ham. He was very good in that sort of short cameo in that match, but in this match he was completely, absent really. But he wasn't the only one. Like we said, Ramsey, Coutinho as well. I think that was probably his weakest game since joining.
I would agree.
Conser was the other one that came back in for Chambers. Probably he felt a bit unlucky. We spoke about that last week, and I think I was the only one that actually called that one. I think all three of you guys said that Chambers would keep his place, but I think he was actually probably okay. I would say like Cash, Konza, Mings, McGinn, and Martinez were the only ones that could really come away from the game feeling like they they were all right. I thought McGinn actually looked like it was hurting him a bit. He was trying to leave a foot in a few times. He pushed over one of their players they had a little scuffle. So it was good to know that he feels it when we're losing. But
I think everyone should though, Scotty. I mean,
that's it.
Just something I don't understand though. Why do Arsenal fans boo Martinez? I honestly don't get it because he left that club on good terms.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he did anyway. Obviously, there might be something different, but he even put a goodbye video out on social media and all that. But they don't like him. They don't like him at all.
It's probably because maybe some of his interviews saying that he doesn't feel like it's a step down. He feels like it's a step up.
But who in their right mind being interviewed to say, "Oh yeah, it's a step down"?
Exactly.
Who the hell in their right mind is going to say that?
Exactly. So, but our fans felt the same way when Grealish was saying nice things about City. So yeah, I mean, let them boo him. It's fine. We've got the better goalkeeper. I think Ramsdale's a very good goalkeeper too, but I think he probably makes more mistakes than Martinez. And he makes some good saves too. But I would rather Martinez, and I'm glad we do have him. I think he made a great save early in that in the match. I think it was a slight deflection, and he sort of got his hand to it from the header.
Yeah.
I felt like the goal was, he was unsighted, but it could have done maybe a bit better with it. I think on his best day, he probably keeps that out, but it wasn't his fault. It was, Saka was given way too much time to come onto his left foot, and it was a good strike. And Arsenal, you got to give them credit. They managed the game after that. I think teams are starting to figure out if you can shut down Coutinho, you can shut down Villa. We saw West Ham do it. He got a lot of the ball against West Ham, but it wasn't in the sort of areas that he would have liked. But in this match, he didn't really have many influential touches at all, did he?
No, not at all. But I think we've heard this story before, though, Scotty, if I'm not wrong. You shut down one player for Aston Villa and the whole team seems to crumble underneath their feet.
Well, yeah, it does harken back to those sort of issues we had last season where, if Grealish didn't rock up, we were going to struggle to get anything out of the game. And it is a problem because you want the guys like Buendia, like Watkins, like McGinn, Ramsey stepping up when he's not really having his best game.
And it's not. We have the talent. The talent is there week in, week out. I mean, we did okay without Coutinho. Not obviously as well as we're doing with him, but we have the talent. We have the talent, but it just seems not to be clicking when he's not pulling the strings.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it might be something to do with the formation. I mean, we've got Bailey and Traore, and I really don't think that Gerrard knows really what to do with them at the moment. Even when he brings them off the bench, I think Bailey was sort of playing as a striker when he came on.
It was weird.
And then Traore was playing in that, on that right hand side where he's normally plays, but. It really kind of just shifted the whole dynamic of the team, and we never really looked like we were any more threatening. We had a few crosses and a couple of shots near the end, but that was always going to be the case when we were desperate and looking for that goal. I mean, I guess positives are maybe the defense was decent enough. I thought didn't give them a lot of chances, but. No. But in our pressing, closing down early on, especially was non-existent.
No, not really. But I've got a question for you, Scotty. Obviously, the defense, I agree. Besides Ashley Young, probably had a decent game, but something we haven't really spoken about is the referee. That tackle from Tyrone Mings still flabbergasts me. And I've seen on Twitter, Sky Sports, whoever said it, said, the referee got it right. I just don't see how the bloke got it right when I know Mings went in hard, right? He went in hard.
Sure.
He got the ball and he didn't collect Saka with his studs.
No.
It was kind of like with his body.
His trailing leg, yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't even that.
It was well after he'd made contact with the ball as well. I mean, you have to be able to let a defender go for a ball. And yes, there was contact, but in the end, I mean, Saka, you could make the argument Saka should pull out there because, it was obvious that Mings was going to get the ball. Saka wasn't going to get the ball. So if anything, it's in maybe it's in his sort of duty of care to pull out and, understand that Mings is out of control at this point. He's sliding on the ground, and he should stay out of his way or jump over him or do something. But I mean, that was ridiculous yellow card, and McGinn gets booked afterwards because there's the whole, little scuffle and pushing and handbags and all of that, and it was just ridiculous. And Arsenal were slowing the game down. They had the lead. It was in their interest considering they played Liverpool on the Thursday night. So, they would have probably been feeling like, let's get this game won early and then manage the game because, we were likely to tie late in the game. So, unfortunately, everything sort of went against us in the match. I thought the crowd were a bit quiet. I thought the atmosphere was a bit...
It was flat.
Yeah. And it was a real shame because it was the early game. We were live on TV. It was a chance to make a statement against a big, top 4 team. So
yeah, exactly. But I think it has to do with the curse of kicking to the whole 10 in the first half. Like I don't remember the last time we actually did that. It was very, very weird. But we've got to have an excuse for something. So I'm blaming that.
Okay.
Clearly that we kicked to the whole 10 in the second half. In the first half.
First half, yeah.
But it was weird. We just didn't seem like, even when we started the game, we just didn't look like we were there at all.
No.
Like we were second best to everything. As you said, the crowd was really flat from the get-go, in my opinion, as well. Maybe like the first 5 minutes, they were all right. But Arsenal did very, very well at managing the game. And that's what the good teams do. But, I mean, it was their Premier League final day, needing to win the game to win the league, according to their celebrations. So, I mean, we'll go off that too.
I think Ashley Young's interview was a little bit cringy. I mean, I don't know. I don't. You can't blame teams for celebrating.
No, you can't.
And
it's funny. I thought it was pretty funny the way they went about it. I thought it was pretty funny.
Obviously, yeah. When they were doing it, I was thinking, you bunch of pricks. But
it felt over the top. You know what I mean? Like it really felt over the top. Like obviously, who cares? Like when you're there, like who's not going to want to celebrate a win? Like when you're there, you celebrate everything you can. But just the players felt like it was over the top. Like it just like they haven't secured top 4 yet. It's not like they've actually secured something. Like yes, it's a big win, and you want coming to Villa Park and getting a gutsy win to be a big win. But I just feel like
I just think like in front of the cameras, like the interview, it looks bad. It looks like sour grapes. Did you see Gerrard's interview?
Yeah, I thought he was just funny. I loved it.
Yeah, on that one, I was 100% behind Gerrard. I
was laughing. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, because it was a bit of banter as well. I mean, he was obviously pissed off, and he didn't like the questioning and the way that it was sort of framed. But
they weren't good questions, though, in my opinion. They weren't
exactly. It seemed like they just wanted to interview the Arsenal players, and then they're like, here's Steven Gerrard. Oh. Shit, what are we gonna say? Like, what are we gonna ask you? Oh, yeah, your team was a bit flat. Yep, we were. Yep. Oh, you only had one shot on target. Yeah. I mean, but it was funny, and I think, like it just shows that obviously the defeats hurt him. I think it shows that
he cares.
He's a winner. He wants us to get better. The way he has spoken the last couple of weeks after the West Ham game as well, where he spoke about lack of physicality. I think this is. I think we're going to see some changes in the summer, big time.
We've seen rumours of it already, with a potential £60 million move for Calvin Phillips, which I wouldn't be complaining, but I know a lot of big clubs want to go for him as well because he's a big physical defensive midfielder. But it also makes me think, is Douglas Luiz going to go in the summer as well?
Look, I think he will. I think, he'll either go or be moved slightly to a different position. But we were looking to get Basuma, in January. That didn't happen, but by all reports, we were interested, and we just didn't want to pay the 40 million or 50 million, whatever it would be.
The ridiculous fee that it was going to be.
Yeah, and I think looking back, maybe we dodged a bit of a bullet there. I mean, I think he's a good player, and he would be an upgrade on Douglas Luiz, but I think there are probably better options as well. I mean, Calvin Phillips seems a little bit maybe too much too soon. Like, if we think with the kind of the career that he's had,
I know.
He's played for England in the Euros. I could see someone else going from it. It's a position where a lot of clubs are looking.
Perslow has loved him. I know we wanted him in 2019. I think the season that we got promoted, and Leeds just missed out. We went for him, and Perslow's been a fan of him for a very, very long time. So I think it's someone that Perslow's going to want to pursue, and probably when Perslow wants someone, he ends up getting him normally. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's a lot of money, but it's the England tax. It's the England tax.
It is, but I think it'd be worth it. I mean, it's certainly the one position where I think we definitely need someone. If we're going to continue with McGinn and Ramsey, we need someone with a bit of bite, in there. Douglas Luiz, has been really good for us in a lot of games, but consistently, I think against Arsenal, it showed this. I mean, I think he was pretty good against West Ham, Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
But then against Arsenal, he just when we come up against those quality teams, he doesn't know.
He goes missing. His best is amazing, but his worst is terrible. And there's no real middle ground with Douglas Luiz, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know it was only Southampton, right? But the way he controlled the game against Southampton was class. Got on the score sheet, really, really ran the show. But then he was a training cone against Arsenal, in my opinion. Like, he was just non-existent.
Yeah. When the other opposition knock the ball around like Arsenal were, he doesn't know where to be, if to push up, to press, to sit back in that hole in front of the defense. And he gets just caught in sort of no man's land where I think there was one point I put in the chat in the first half. I was like, has he touched the ball? Yeah, because it just didn't feel like he was having that influence. And I do think, like, also when we have the ball, he should be an option every single time. And I don't, there's times where I think he just sort of turns his back on the play and kind of walks around. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, Tyrone Mings has got the ball and he's looking for an option here. But it's just, it didn't happen on the weekend. That's for sure.
No, it didn't. But I also feel the international break might have come at a good time as well. I think give some of the boys that aren't playing time off. Obviously, Digne should be back by the end of the international break, which is huge because, I mean, I love Ashley Young. I love him. I'm happy he came back, but he just doesn't have the legs anymore to play fullback, in my opinion. No. Maybe in Serie A he did, but, But in the first game of the season, he came on at halftime and played really well against Sarr. Played really, really well. But it's just since that game, he hasn't been able to do it against the quality players.
No.
Like Saka, and he struggles. So,
yeah, definitely.
We'll see what happens.
And I think in Serie A as well, he was under Conte, he was playing more of a wing back. There was a back three behind him. He had a bit more cover, and he was a year younger. You're right. He is 37. I mean, I guess the back four. I think Cash, tries hard every game. He's Mr. Consistent. Like, you can't really fault his performance or effort. I think McGinn always, tries to put it in, and I think, he was probably the best of a bad bunch, in my opinion.
I agree.
Watkins as well. He didn't really do that pressing that he normally does in the first half. But I mean, the second half, I could see that he was trying it a lot more, and he was. But again, like, there is no link up between him and Coutinho. There is no link up between him and Buendia. Buendia and Coutinho try and knock it about a bit between themselves, but
just doesn't happen.
No, we got no one running in behind really, and it just reverted back to knocking it long. and the ball coming straight back every time. And
yeah,
against a team like Arsenal in the form they're in,
you can't afford to do it.
No, they're going to beat you. They're going to have too many opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's Wolves next after the international break. It's going to be a difficult one again. We definitely owe them one after last time, but they're having a good season. They're only 1 point ahead of us, but I think they're like 9 points. Yeah.
Do you want to hear? Obviously, Coop developed a stat. It's not Villa
Give me
related.
one.
Not Villa related at all. But Wolves are the first team in Premier League history to win a game from 2-0 down and to lose a game from 2-0 up. Was that happening against Leeds on the weekend? And then
in the same season.
In the same season, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. We're always in these like record-breaking games, or you see. Like you watch something like goals of the season, and it's always against Villa. You're just like
we love it. We stat pad. We give them the stat pad. But anyway,
if you want to break a record, come play Villa, and it just seems to be the way. It's just sod's law, isn't it? It's just awful.
Exactly,
absolutely awful. Let's talk about the subs. Were you impressed? I mean, I think again, it's like.
Bailey showed glimpses. He showed glimpses. He put in a really good ball, one or two really good balls. I think Traore's lacking game fitness, match fitness, everyone to say. Like, he just looks a little bit off it, match sharpness. I don't remember who the other sub was. You only made
was Danny Ings?
Oh, Danny Ings. Yeah, that probably sums it up. He had that header that went over the bar.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, the whole game was pretty poor, in my opinion. As I said, I think it was screaming for Morgan Sanson to come on. Even at halftime, it was screaming. JJ was poor all day.
Yep.
It was screaming for someone to come in and break up the play like Sanson can do. You can also give Louise a little bit more license to move around a little bit more, a player like Sanson. Obviously, I'm not a football manager. I don't have any of my coaching badges, but looking from the side, it just looks like Sanson just doesn't get a go at all.
Yep. And I think in a game where Ramsey was just completely off it, he was giving the ball to an Arsenal player pretty much every time he got the ball. That's a perfect game, just to say at halftime. I mean, I know managers don't want to wreck young players' confidence and that sort of thing, but sometimes leaving them out there does it worse. It's a worse option because they're completely shot. And I think that like you said, it was a perfect opportunity to bring in someone like Sanson, try and get a bit more control in that midfield.
Even one of the young guys, bring Timmy on.
Yes.
Or Carney, I think, was on the bench.
Yes.
Like something like they don't study these guys, but they know Jacob Ramsey, how his game. Like, he scored a worldie against them at the Emirates. They would know what this guy's like. Bring something on that can surprise them.
We were 2-0 down against Manchester United, and we brought Carney on, and he was the spark, I thought, in that. I mean, Coutinho was, the other one in that match as well.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
But Carney in that match was like, gave us a bright spark, gave us physicality, gave us a bit of run, and we missed that against Arsenal big time. So I mean, it's another kind of one step forward, two steps back sort of season so far under Gerrard since he's come in.
I know. It's going to be like that for the rest of the season, I reckon, Scotty. Obviously, Europe's out of the equation. I don't see us going down anymore. 3 points to be completely safe, I think it is, or 4 points, whatever it is. But we're not too crap. We're going down, but we're not quite up there with the elite. And you can see the level we got to hit. We got to be beating these teams above us. Yeah. Unfortunately, 2 games we haven't been able to do it against West Ham or Arsenal.
Yeah.
But that's the levels we got to get to. I mean, two seasons ago, West Ham were battling relegation with us. Yep. Ends up both staying up, and they've gone bang and just pushed on to European football. Well, we're just kind of taking this slow progression up to European football, which eventually will happen. I mean, if we can sign Coutinho on the permanent, players want to play with him. It's interesting.
I mean, I think we are going in the right direction. I just think, Gerrard could probably do with a big scalp, like a real kind of headline win against one of the big boys. He hasn't
had that yet.
No, he hasn't. And I know he's probably desperate for it. I mean, against Liverpool would be perfect. So I know, I guess he would probably rather it be someone else, but because they're going for the league.
I've already got in my imagination Manchester City, final day of the season, and Coutinho scores the goal to give Liverpool the Premier League title and not to give it to Manchester City.
And run over to Gerrard and I'd take that. That'd be great.
It's set up though, isn't it? Last day of the season as well. It's set up for it. It'd be like an Aguero moment or something.
It is. Grealish as well.
That might be the reason I'm hoping that occurs, but time will tell. Time will tell, Scotty. You've got nothing against the bloke, but I just don't want him to win this year.
Look, I don't really care, to be honest, who wins, but I would like us to win some games. That's the main thing. I think.
Yeah, so would I.
We look at, we had the 3 wins, obviously, and before that we had the loss to Newcastle and the loss to Watford. 2 teams that sort of sit back and
we
defend.
lost to Brentford too, and they did exactly the same thing.
Yeah. So West Ham as well, a similar kind of team, and Arsenal, after they went 1-0 up, they did a similar kind of thing. I think teams feel like if they, sit back and defend, we're not really going to break them down, and it is a bit of an issue.
No. But the way we play to Watkins, right, is like we're playing to 6'5" John Carew, just swinging the ball into the box and hoping that he's going to win a header.
Yeah,
it's just not going to work. And obviously teams work that out, that we're eventually going to put a stupid ball into the box and they're going to counter us anyway or get the ball back.
Yeah. And when Watkins plays in the middle of a front 3, he feels like he has to be on that last man all the time, challenging for headers, where him and Danny Ings playing in a front 2 with Coutinho behind, there's a bit more flexibility there, I feel, with those 2 strikers. One can come deep, one can, go in behind. They can drift wide. They can switch over sides. They can, and I think Ollie, especially out of our forwards, needs that kind of flexibility and freedom because he is an intelligent player. He's quick, and when he's running with the ball, he's quite effective. So I think that, I would like to see that in the next few games. Hopefully Ings is back in. I think Buendia had his chance, and I think he's got to be back out, really, if Ings is fit.
I agree.
Yeah, because, that wasn't good enough from Buendia, and I think, when we got him and Coutinho, you can really only play one if you're going to play Ings and Watkins. So, it was frustrating, but, what are we going to do? We're going into we've got the international break now, so we can sort of forget about it a little bit and just kind of reset and come back hard for Wolves away.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to give us a prediction for Wolves away?
I might as well. I mean,
why not?
We might be doing some videos, who knows, in the international break, hopefully.
Yeah, we will.
I've got some content, but obviously for Wolves prediction, I reckon we're going to win 3-1.
I'm going to say 1-1 again. I mean, I just can't. I can't tip a draw. I can't tip a win at the moment.
I'm telling you, this boy right here, my man.
Look, I'm hoping in a game against a team like Wolves, he'll get a bit more freedom and be able to help the team. But he's going to South America, so he'll probably get back late, and that's
he's scoring 2. He's scoring 2. I'm telling you.
I'm writing that down and taking note.
Not this guy, but this guy.
Well, I don't care who it is, but it'd be great to come back against Wolves. A bit of a local derby, and
it's more of their big derby than it is our big derby, Scott. But they seem to love it. So
I mean, I think every Villa fan would probably put Birmingham and West Brom ahead of them in terms of local rivals. But they're having a good season. It'll be a good test. So, and Raul Jimenez got sent off, didn't he?
He did, I think. Yeah, didn't he?
So he won't be available. So that's a bonus. So anything else to talk about the women's?
I don't think they've played. I know they're playing.
No, it was a FA Cup round, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, and obviously we are not in the FA Cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there will be some games coming up that we can talk about in our next.
Yeah, they're playing
video.
Birmingham. They're playing Birmingham soon, which I think will be during the international break.
Yes.
Playing at Villa Park, which is very exciting for the women to be able to get a chance to play at Villa Park. But I think it was our under 23s or under 18s also beat Wolves 3-0 during the week, I think it was. So the youth's looking very exciting at Villa. It's just hopefully the first team can go with them.
That's right. We need a bit of a lift. All right. Well, we got no quiz again, of course, this week because Tommy and Troy are unavailable.
They're slacking.
Troy's still having technical issues, so hopefully he'll be right for the Wolves game. But
I mean, it's a few weeks off, but obviously who would expect the angry man Troy to break his laptop? He won't tell us how he did it, but rumor has it. Rumor has it.
There's a bit of mystery around the whole incident, isn't there?
Put your thoughts in the comments. Why did Troy break his laptop? And Troy, you cannot answer.
And also put down any questions you've got for us in the comments about Villa, about how we think the team should go, or about just our personal life or whatever. We'll answer them if they're reasonable questions, the best as we can. And that could be a nice little segment in the upcoming videos over the international break. So, but we are going to do a similar quiz to last week on Sporkle. So I will get that one up.
Why not?
All right. So it's all good. You can see it there.
I can definitely see it, and we're gonna smash this out.
All right. So the question is, can you name the Aston Villa Football Club squads from the first game of the season and for the first game in the EFL Cup? So we'll smash this, won't we? This will be easy.
Right. I reckon we start with the Carabao Cup one first. Probably was the most trouble, but we'll smash it out the park anyway, in my opinion.
All right. Well, we got 4 minutes, so we got to be quick.
Yeah, easy. So Jed Steer in goal.
Steer, yep.
Now, Cash. I think it was Cash.
Well, he's in the other one. Gilbert.
I was about to say Gilbert. Cameron Archer.
Yes.
Mr. Hattrick Boy.
Hurricane.
Yeah, he was captain that day.
He was. Netherlands winger is El Ghazi.
Nakamba.
Yes.
He played both games. Go Horse, Consa, Mings.
Yeah, Horse. Consa. No, Mings. No.
Target.
Yeah, Target was.
Who played the other one?
Who
was the centre back we had? Twinzabe, Axel.
Oh, yeah.
Axel.
Yep, we got him. Okay, there's another midfielder.
Go McGinn, anyway.
We'll go McGinn from the other one.
And Martinez, just so we get that done.
Yeah.
Going forward.
Ramsey.
I think it was Aaron. No, Ramsey didn't start. I reckon it's Chukwuemeka.
Chukwuemeka, is that right?
I don't reckon that's right. I don't want to research it quickly.
Yeah.
Go Watkins.
I think it's Yeah, got it.
You got it?
Okay, well, another winger from England.
I'll go Watkins to start with. And Buendia.
No, Watkins isn't in there.
Ings. Watkins was injured.
Yep. Argentina's Buendia.
Yeah. Who was the midfielder that played? England midfielder that played?
Young.
No, Young came off the bench, though.
He did. No, he's in there.
What?
No, he went to left back, maybe. And Ramsey came on.
Ramsey came on.
All right. So we got 2 minutes. We got only one left, and it's an England winger.
England winger. Was it Aaron Ramsey? I saw he played, but
nah.
He's gonna kick us.
No.
England winger.
Who's some youngsters have gone on loan?
Well, Chukwuemeka, another one, but no, Caleb Chukwuemeka. He played, but I think he came off the bench.
Yeah. We are shit.
Louis Barry? Just try Barry, maybe.
No, it's not him.
Brad Young? No, we can't be actually Young.
So it would have been El Ghazi one side, Archer in the middle, Buendia behind, and someone on the right.
This is going to kill me because I know this as
So will it be a left footer?
I don't know.
Okay, just some youngsters.
I know that someone it was definitely a youngster that played. I reckon they might have spelt someone's name wrong. I reckon someone was said an England winger.
But I can't even think who we've put in that's been.
Who scored on that day? Someone else scored.
Yeah, El Ghazi got a hat trick. No, El Ghazi got two. Archer got a hat trick.
It's going to kill me.
No! What have we done?
This is going to kill me because
who started that game?
I got no idea. It's going to piss me off because it's going to be someone that we should get.
Yep.
And it's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to happen.
Oh, no. Who is it?
Who is it?
Dave. Of course it's Philogene with Dave.
Someone in the comments is going to be screaming at us. They're going to be screaming at us.
Oh, no. I was saying, who's gone on loan? Who's gone on loan? And but look, we got 95%. The average is 68, but we're not average. We're above average. So
That's good. Fair play.
Yeah.
I forgot that. The one young player I forgot.
Oh, man, I just totally forgot about him. It feels like it's been ages since we heard about him. Has he been playing for Stoke recently?
A little bit, I think. I haven't really looked into it too much. I haven't looked into it at all, but there you go.
All right, well, we're crap. Sorry for all of you screaming at home and saying, it's Philogene Bidets, it's Philogene Bidets. But, we will do it. But if you enjoyed that, please let us know in the comments. We will do more of them. We do have a big one coming up that's
exciting.
Yeah. So what was that? The amount of appearances?
I don't need to give it away. But
okay.
Yeah, but
I won't give it away. But it's a long one.
It says 20 minutes.
So we might do that during the international break when everyone's back. Thanks for liking and subscribing, everyone. Please make sure to do that if you haven't. You can listen to us on Spotify. Make sure you give us a follow there.
On Instagram as well and TikTok.
Instagram, TikTok. Search for Coop de Villa. Give us a like. Follow us. Make sure that, you keep up that engagement with lots of comments. And please let us know, like we said earlier, any questions about me and Noah, Tommy, Troy, Aman. We will get round to them when they're on and we will answer them. And, we all love you. Thanks for watching Up the Villa. And we will see you in the international break for another quiz and some more catch up. See you then. Up the Villa.
See you later.
See ya.